Let's move on and talk about these. I'm sure you've heard the audio of the low-level ISIS fighters talking about slave trading Yazidi women. It's very disturbing. We'll take a listen and then we'll talk about it. Even if they're joking and they're talking about selling girls here, I mean, it's horrible. What's going on here?
It's absolutely repugnant. Not clear exactly what's going on in the video, but it's very well documented by now that ISIS captured hundreds of the Yazidi girls, and they provided them to their fighters as sex slaves. And they boasted about this in online communications, their online magazine, Darbik, saying it's to bring them back to the glorious Islamic days of the past. So they're quite open that they're doing this, that they're providing their fighters with hundreds of sex slaves.
Some of them as young as 9 years old. Is that a recruiting tool as well? I mean...
Well, I mean, that's absolutely atrocious, and there's accounts of young girls as young as 11 being raped as well, but they're providing them to the fighters as a recruiting tool to sort of motivate them, and some of these young fighters are welcoming these new brides, but obviously abusing them in horrible ways.
What is the next phase here in this fight against ISIS?
Well, I think, you know, it's that the United States has been able to stall its momentum to some degree in Iraq and Syria, and they're trying to train the Iraqi army up to retake parts of Iraq that ISIS controls. But it's going to be a long fight, and retired General John Allen, who's coordinating these efforts, says it's going to take about a year to train the Iraqi army to retake Mosul. And you'll recall in 2007, at the height of the U.S. surge, when there were 170,000 U.S. combat troops in Iraq, it took them months and months and months to break the back of al-Qaeda in Iraq. Well, ISIS are even stronger than al-Qaeda in Iraq were then, and there are now no U.S. combat troops on the ground. So this is going to be a real uphill task, a challenge that's going to take many years. And that's just Iraq. I mean, Syria is going to be even more difficult than that, because the United States doesn't have any partners on the ground in Syria. The moderate opposition was just routed a few weeks ago by Jabhat al-Nusra, this al-Qaeda affiliate, so it's going to be very hard indeed.